All right, my brother. Here we go. We got a twos replay that I saved one time because this is when we were playing twos together. And there's a few times where I was like, huh, should he have been closer there or would that be over aggressive? So I saved it. Uh, Apparently, I saved it right after we scored a goal because I wanted to look at something. I don't remember particularly, but this is one of the games we played together. And I'm just going to review it. I have only watched the first 30 seconds real quick. And um, yeah, I just want to go over it with you to talk about some things. So here we go. Rocking the bow, classic. Okay, wait, I'll just play this out because I remember watching this and this is what I wanted to talk about. So on kickoffs, you always want to hit the ball with the nose of your car. You're flipping here, and I think it's because you're scared of getting beat. But especially on this kickoff where you guys are both coming at it head on, they're just gonna hit it into you. They don't realize that you didn't do any sort of like fast kickoff or anything. Um, So you're flipping like way too early because look at the time you hit the ball, look how your car's hitting it. You want to hit it where the nose of your car kind of goes through the ball and stays there. So whenever you front flip, you're going to front flip and your nose of your car is going to dip down. You maybe want to like diagonal flip so that like the corner of your car stays touching it, or even side flip so the nose of your car stays there the whole time. Front flipping is still like fine, but make sure you hit it with the nose of your car and then go down. Still not ideal, but it might just be easier. But when you front flip so early, you're hitting it when your car is like down already. And then it kind of acts like a ramp and the ball will just shoot right over your car if they're hitting it with the nose of their car. And it turns out fine in this case, but that'll just be helpful later on. Also, especially in twos. So after you go for kickoff, your objective in threes, your objective is to go for that mid boost and try to beat your opponent there. In twos, sometimes still that is the case. Um, and in threes, if they take it, then you go back and get that corner one. If nobody took that corner one already, then that's fine. But in twos, you don't always have time, so you can't autopilot instant lock on to that back corner boost. If you don't get the mid boost, or if you see that your opponent is just clearly going to beat you there, just grab mid pads instead. And there is a perfect, it's 5 now. There's a perfect little path right here. Just boom, 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 and you're back post. And if the play advances back to offense, then you got boom, 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 boom along all these pads, and you'll be back up to full. Rather than I guarantee you're gonna go all the way, grab this mid boost. I mean this corner boost, and then use like 50 of the boosts getting to back post and back up to speed anyway, and you're only gonna have 50 boosts anyway. Let's see. Okay, you actually didn't burn through all of it because the way the play went. Okay, that's all I've watched of this so far. But now we'll keep watching. Think about your positioning a little bit. I think this is okay. We're waiting to see what happens. It's fine. It's going crazy. This could go either way. I think my instinct tells me to be very scared of this because at like GC lobbies, this guy could do something crazy and like right here, like get a flip reset and hit it over you and you don't really know. So I always go to shadow defense when they're like air dribbling at me and I'm the last one back. But you assessed the situation correctly and you knew that you could get a good 50 from this position. So that's fine. And you have like full boost doing it. It's fine. Yeah, grab that boost. I think right here what you have to realize is once this starts going middle, it's good instinct to turn, and now you should be assessing whether or not you could go for this. And you like maybe could if they just pass middle, but their teammate's going to be there. And so at this point, you should know that you're not going to be able to get it, and that person could be taking a shot on net, and you should be turning towards the post now. You should, as soon as you see this, instead of turning towards the ball like you are right now, you should have turned back and been angling at like this side of the goal so the whole goal stays in front of you. So if he shot it from way back there, you're going to save that 100%. Because there's a very real chance where I got beat there and I didn't get that dunk and he put it on net and then they would have scored. Here, you have an open net. You don't have to jump right away. You're not racing anybody to this ball. You have all day. And so to get an angle, you want to spend as much time on the ground as you can because it'll be so much faster to boost all the way over here and get in front of the ball. And then as this ball's falling, you could like gotten over here and now taken the shot from this angle and you could have scored it. But because you jumped so early, it's almost impossible to like change directions midair. So it's really hard to cut it around. But if you come all the way over here and then you can change direction on the ground right before you jump, you'll be able to get a tighter angle. Good demo. Way to rotate back post. I think once I get that big flick right here, you can start accelerating and pushing up. And I guess I guess you're being wary of that Nick guy getting like a boom on net. So I guess that's okay. And twos, I always tell you to be safe, so that's good. Recovery could be a little bit cleaner. I want to also look at like everything, like when you jump and stuff. Okay, it does look like that person's going for the ball. You can't really tell if you're going to get beat. So it's okay to go fast and like jump this early. Whenever you're going for a ball that's where the wall's behind it, I know this is big brain Rocket League, but this is like how my recoveries are so fast. You're like, what? How'd you get back in time? I would already be air rolling so that my wheels are facing the wall. And I would make contact with the ball with my wheels facing the wall. So that way, as soon as I landed right here, I would already be grounded. Because my wheels would be on the wall, which would be like, it would make you so much faster because now you're like bouncing. And now you also land sideways. I think you hold power slide a little bit there, which is very good that you did that at least. But thinking about how you're going to land as you're going for the ball, like a plan B basically. But yeah, plan B is actually a type of Rocket League shot, but you know, have a second of what you're going to do next after you hit the ball in mind. Then you might have made it there. And just a little bit more patience. I know you're trying to get there as fast as you can. You have, but like, look at this, your boost number. You waste a lot of speed there. You have 50 something boost by the time you land. If you would have just landed on the wall with full boost and not jump here, if you just keep driving on the ground, you can pick up that boost pad and everything. You're already like going supersonic, which is like max speed. Just keep driving on the ground. You would have been able to get there. Also, another thing that I'm realizing too that I messaged you about, your camera settings, you're playing on max stiffness, which the only person in the world who does that is Lethamir, which might be how you found out about it. Also, logically, it kind of makes sense. I think about it too. I've messed around with it a few times. What stiffness does is as you accelerate in Rocket League, the camera will kind of zoom out a little bit. And the greater your stiffness, the less it zooms out because it's stiff. It won't move. So when you're on max stiffness, the camera does not move at all, which seems like, why would I want the camera zooming out when I want the camera to be consistent so I know where my car is? But when you have a little bit of stiffness and the camera zooms out, it helps you understand how fast you're going. And a lot of lower ranked players really struggle with that. And I think you've gotten pretty good at it, but sometimes I think you're going like faster than you realize and you fly past the ball or you're not going like fast enough. And I think if you have like anywhere from 45 to 55 stiffness, that camera adjustment will help you know how fast you're going, which right here, I think you just don't realize that you're going like basically already max speed and you can't really accelerate too much more than that. Way to go back post here. Realize the play's switching sides, so you go behind me. You probably don't need a circle around here though. You're here, you're here, you're here. I think you realize that if you keep your current speed and turn towards me, you'll be too close to me. But I think you can just slow down a little bit. I think what I would do is I would just go here and then I would like power slide turn going this way with the play. And that would slow me down just enough to be matching the speed of the play. I think this little circle here takes too long and you're not speeding up fast enough. Like I think you're sometimes putting, when the play is going in that direction and nobody's about to boom it back, you can be a lot closer. So it's about recognizing where the potential of the play is. Not always you should have a set amount of distance between you and the ball. Like you could be closer and accelerating a lot more right now. Oh, also you never want to be sitting still. If you watch my play, I will almost never be sitting still. I might sometimes in net a few in specific moments when the ball's in our corner. But in midfield, at least just keep maximum driving speed by driving in like kind of figure eights and power sliding. But this whole like forward back thing, now look how much you were going backwards at the time I hit the ball. If you had forward speed by the time I hit the ball, you would get to this and score it. Well, I think this is when I saved it, actually. I'm about to save right here because when I hit that ball, I was like, he should have been there. Like, from my perspective, I'm like, oh, I'll put it middle. And I literally go to car cam right here to see where you are. And I'm like, whoa, he's all the way back there. And watching your play right now, you should be closer. And here's why. I want to change the way you think about the game rather than telling you should be closer right here. The way that person's taking the ball up the wall, and also the fact that I'm shadowing and getting back, means you can be more aggressive. The way that person's taking the ball up the wall is they're not going to like boom it. The most you can accelerate the ball like from an air dribble like that is the max speed of a car, which you'll be able to turn around and shadow and match that speed. They're not going to be like booming it right after it bounces, which is going to go way faster than a car could drive. So that's when you want to give the distance. But in this case, they're not going to be able to hit it way over your head from this angle. And maybe that is something that like you might not be able to recognize instantly, but you will as you keep playing the game more. Because the most threatening situation right now is kind of that person passing it to that Nick guy middle, and then that person's going to boom it over your head. Or I could just hit it middle, and then you could have like shot it. So watching all this again, watch your positioning, and then I'll tell you how I would position during all this. So you're just kind of sitting there the whole time. And now I think how I would position during all this. Where's your car? I'll act like I'm driving a car right now. Okay, so this is fine. I probably would have already been pushed up like here. And maybe I'd be circling right now. I'd be like here. And then I'd be like driving this way already. And then I would have like been there for that shot here. Instead of just like sitting here, I probably would have turned this way and then matched the direction that the ball's going to go with the net in front of me, because the net's on that side. So I want to be pointed at this side at the time of impact with the ball. Because if it goes behind me and it goes like along the wall over me, that's fine. Because then I turn around and the ball's in the corner now. But if the ball goes middle, that's where it's dangerous. And that's what I want to be covering. Also, same thing, same concept applies here. The wall, I mean, the wall in the midfield is a little bit dangerous because they can take it up the wall and then they can like go for triple musty flipper sets. But what's even more dangerous is them being able to cut it past you. You got to make sure that that's always your main option. And if they take it to the wall, you can probably accelerate and match them at that speed anyway. So you just go a little bit too far. I think you also are thinking about that mid boost and you're kind of gravitating towards it. And he cuts past you. You just want to make sure that you're covering that option. Oh, I think we get scored on here too. I remember this one. I'll watch it first. When the ball's going to hit the ceiling, especially like in the corner, it's just impossible to read. And the defenders always, you have the advantage in this case because the other person's not going to go for the ball unless they are sure that they have you beat. So you can kind of wait because even if you hit it at the same time as them, that's an advantage for us. So you always have the advantage when it's you in goal versus their last back because they have to wait. So you can just let that ball hit the ceiling first or see what that other person's going to do with it and then react accordingly. This is going to be a helpful tip. I don't know what you're like trying to do here, what your thought process is on these, but whenever you're catching the ball, especially in car cam, which this one is already a little risky because you don't know for sure if they're going to be able to go for this. Like, where are they? This guy could have just been a little bit faster and honestly, like maybe like dunked that off you. You would have no idea, and that would our net would just be open. Also, if you are sure that you're going to catch it, well, you want to try to make contact on your car because right here you make contact on the side of your car, like right here. You make contact. You want to make contact on somewhere on the front. And if you do want to touch it a little bit to the side, touch it on like the corner, like on your wheel. That's going to allow you to keep driving in the same direction you touch it to. When you touch the ball on the side of your car, it's going to shoot way wider than you. And then you're going to have to like turn and adjust and you're going to lose control of it. Which is what happens there. And honestly on twos, when I cheat up, if the ball doesn't go for me or it goes over my head, anytime the ball's like this, I just get back because I have no read on the situation. I have no idea where anything is. Yeah, so I would just be flipping to that corner boost right now because you can still play defense after getting it. That's fine. I think this challenge is good because you're cutting off his most threatening option, which is a really quick pass middle. You're cutting that off. And like here, if I were you, I would know that this unofficial guy on my team is going to touch this ball first. So I would know that he's going to be playing that forward, and I would be boosting and flipping forward to be midfield to follow up on the play. And you look hesitant right now, like you don't know if I'm going to get dunked or not. And that's why you're like, you literally slam on your brakes here. You go backwards. You slam on your brakes so much you go backwards. We need to stop doing this. Stop touching your brakes. Anytime that your brain tells you to hit the brakes to slow down, think power slide instead. Keep that forward momentum and maybe just shift which direction it's going in and kind of just drive back and forth or like kind of in figure eights. And that way you'll keep a lot more speed and you'll be way faster to the play. And like right here, you're a little far back to follow up on anything. Looking at how this play is advancing, they're both retreating to their goal. There is zero chance. If one of them were facing the ball, then there's a chance that they could boom it and you'd want to be where you are now. But because both of them are like retreating to their goal, you know that you can push up because the play is going to either just like be centered middle or it's going to go to their corner or something, which the play did end up going to their corner. There's no way it's going to come back over your head, so you can be more aggressive in this particular situation. Because you could be on that ball like now. This ball could be coming to you and you could 50 this. But now you're in a really dangerous situation where that guy could get a good touch like up the wall and then you're going to outplay you. And now you're like shadowing. Now you're scared. They have a really scary passing opportunity right here, which they shouldn't do because that's kind of risky in twos, which they kind of try to go for. And you like kind of saw it coming, I think. But you're out of luck right now because you have to cover the shot, you have to cover the solo play, and you have to cover the pass, which you're trying to cover two things at once, which is so difficult. And here, you're already going supersonic. Right before you jumped, like, let's see if I can pause at the right moment. Right there, I think you're going supersonic. And you're jumping and you're still boosting, and you flip. That only slows you down, actually. Once you're definitely going supersonic here. You can see the trails from the flip. And you're still, oh no, you stopped boosting for your flip. But yeah, once you're going max speed, I think you just don't realize when you hit supersonic sometimes. You don't want to flip because flipping actually like slows you down a little bit because you're not going perfectly straight anymore. Once you're going supersonically and perfectly straight, that's just max speed. Just keep driving and stay grounded more. I like this play from you. You're just sitting perfectly still, so it's really hard for you to like adjust first and get this to me. But if you like had a little bit more momentum and like maybe power slid facing the ball first instead of like you're already boosting in the wrong direction. You see how your car has to overcorrect now. If you're turned towards the ball first before you jumped, you'd be able to hit it a lot harder. And that's why I was hoping that you could pass that to me. That's why I'm down there. But still good clear nonetheless. I like that you possess this. Huge. If you ever watch any Spook Luke videos on YouTube, he's always going to talk about bounce dribbling. Bounce dribbling is 9 times out of 10 better. So instead of you take a really good first touch there, actually, and they are so scared, they're both covering net. They're like, oh, this guy's going to do something crazy. And what you choose to do instead, which first of all, you go to ball cam, just go to car cam once you're on this situation. If you're going to try to catch it. Which, yeah, you go to ball cam there, which is really hard to catch it. You're perfect right here. Stay on car cam and just look at that circle on the ground and catch it on top of your car. It's going to be way easier. But instead of catching on top of your car, what you should do, debatably easier, but debatably harder. Like, it's easier to catch the ball, but then it's harder to like catch it and do something with it because you have to be precise that whole time. Where to do a bounce dribble, you just need to be precise one time and get a good second touch. And to do a bounce dribble, you're just going to like kind of follow near the side of the ball. And as soon as the ball lands, you're just going to like, just turn a little bit, just give it a little love tap, and it'll just bounce up in the air again and change direction slightly. And if you just keep bouncing that, and then after one of the bounces, you could jump up and hit it one more time once they start turning at you, rather than catching it like this and it goes right to them. Also, if you are going to catch it, you always want to take the ball diagonal to your opponents. You're a math guy. You will understand this. When you catch the ball going to them, it's going to shorten the amount of time that you have to gain control of the ball and then do something with it. You're going to need to like catch it and flip it right away. And also when you're dribbling right at them, the ball is covering their car, so you don't know when they're challenging. Also, when you're driving straight at them, the only flick you can get at the net is a just straightforward shot. You're not going to get any direction change. But if you're driving kind of diagonal to them, then you can like cut it back in and get a lot of direction change, which is way harder to defend. So a bunch of tips on how to score that more effectively. You go for boost there, that's good. This turn feels very wide. I don't know if you pressed power slide once during that whole turn. Oh, I remember seeing that. That was just unfortunate. You did a good job going up the wall. I think that's the right read. 9 times out of 10, this ball sticks up the wall. You see how it has separation right now? That's why it bounces down. If it's stuck to the wall the whole time, it would bounce out, and then you'd be good. Unlucky read. I probably would have made the same read, to be honest. It's fine. You're gonna... Ooh. Where the pad's at, homie. You're trying to get back as fast as you can. But you have just a second or two to instead go boom, 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 boom. And then at this pad, you can switch back to car cam to see where the play's going. I mean, to ball cam, see where the play's going. If it's staying aggressive, then you have this route. And you can turn around at any point here. And if you need to get back on defense, then when you hit this pad, you just keep going along this route. And you get one pad. No pad, no pad, no pad, no pad. You still are at 12 boost. Okay, you got that pad at least. Like, your positioning overall was good, but try to get those pads at the same time. And honestly, when you're going for pads, it just makes it easier. You don't have to think about precisely where you should be, because you know you're just getting pads anyway. Just follow the path of the pads. Yeah, you tried to dodge it. That's unfortunate. Good recovery and challenge there, though. Oh, you wave dash off the wall? Huge. You're an epic gamer. Oh, boost over ball here. You see that this ball's coming, but you had already made up in your mind right now that you want to get that full boost. And because you have no boost, you're like scared to turn and go for the ball. Why do you have no boost? Because you had 13 there. And this one. Oh, you use the boost right. Because in your mind, you made the decision that you're going for that full boost. You're like, well, I can just use all my boost right now. But if you had that like 17 boost or whatever it was, you'd be able to use that boost to make a play on the ball right now instead. So be careful with that. If that ball was coming a little bit faster, would have been game over. We'll be careful with this boost. Yeah, you're doing fine. Like, this is good that you're going as fast as you are now. You slam on your brakes here to like adjust to that. And then I guess maybe you just have this read wrong or something. But the boost usage, this is maybe one of the situations where I'd be standing still. Oh, also, once you find yourself in this situation, this is just like a little bit of car control. You're reversing and turning right. You want to reverse and turn the other way, because that'll point the nose of your car towards the ball, even though it might not put your car in the right direction. But what you can do, this is the big brain strat. You can, looking at your wheels, you can tell you're pushing the analog stick to the right. If you push your analog stick to the left, reverse, and hold power slide at the same time, which I know you have to hold your controller in the weird way to do. If you do all those things at the same time, then you'll go in the right direction and the nose of your car will be pointing towards the ball. Learning how to reverse and power slide at the same time and how that affects your car, you just goof around with that in free play for a little bit and figure it out. Because you would have been able to make that touch with the nose of your car pointing towards the ball, and then you would have been able to like boost and follow it. See, now the play is going towards them, and they're all driving backwards. Like this Nick guy, he's shadowing the ball. There's no chance that this ball is going to be boomed to where you are. So you can follow a little bit closer. Like, you could be like midfield right now. You could be like here right now. And even if you were where I said to be, you would still be able to turn sideways and take this ball up the wall. That's just a mistouch. You had the right idea. And you at least got a touch to save it. What I think you should do in this situation, though, is you jump right here. I don't think you fast aerialed. You definitely didn't, because you flipped into the ball. I would be in panic mode. Whenever you want to beat people to the ball, you always fast aerial to race there. You only save your flip if you know you have time. So I'd fast aerial to this, and I would just hit it straight. Not at the goal, though. I would hit it just a little bit to the corner. Hitting it back to them is scary. Like, the fact that they didn't expect this is the reason that it worked. But if they were just like a little bit back, they would have just been ready to boom it because you would have passed it to them. And you still give away possession a little bit, but at least it bought time. Here, once they have you beat to the wall and you have no boost, this person's going to take it up the wall and they're going to do whatever they want. There's nothing you can do here. I think you just should have turned back sooner. I think you make this touch. I'm behind you at this point. You should know that. You can't make a play. You should turn around, go back post now. Because then I would know to start challenging them from here. Also, when you're shadowing, always keep the net in front of you. You either need to commit to back post, like earlier, or you need to just keep the net in front of you the whole time. So either just stay facing like this way, and that way you can like either turn up the wall or turn out if you need to, or forward to the net, or you can either go all the way in the net and turn around here, or even go this way and turn around here. Either of those would be fine, but you're doing a mix of them, which is really dangerous and putting you in this awkward position. And twos, I think you just got to make your move a little bit sooner. That's fine, though. This is another one of those situations where, like, recognizing, like, you're not going to make a play on this ball. This dude has you beat every day of the week. And you kind of recognize that once you jump, but you could have been a little bit faster there. And then the biggest thing, once you see this, you're grounded this whole time. You're recognizing, oh, shoot. Nobody is challenging this. Like, they're both in the air getting back. The net's wide open with the ball bouncing just lightly in the middle. Take your time. Swing out here. Power slide at the ball. Boom. You can take a really hard shot anywhere in that net based on like where this guy falls on the backboard. But what you're going to do is see ball, see open, and go at the ball, and you're about to hit it to the corner. Or you're going to try to hit the craziest angle of your life. And you end up just passing it to them. But what you want to do is when you see that space, take the time, line your car up on the ground first, and then go. You should be rotating back post here. And now you have no boost to go for this. If you would have rotated back, and this is why boost management is so important. Like, you probably, okay, many things. Yeah, 45. You maybe could at least save like 20 of this if you flip now. You use all of it and flip the wrong way. But if you rotate, if you would have flipped even here, you could have grabbed pad, and either pad or pad, and 3 pads, and you'd be ready to make a play on this. But you get that, you get 1 pad, and now you can't do anything because you don't have the boost. You just get lucky. In the jump that you made, you jumped backwards into goal, so even if the ball went right at you, you wouldn't have hit it. I guess maybe you would have been able to flip forward. I'm a fan of the YOLO jump there. Sometimes you just gotta do that on defense. Oh, fake them with a 0 boost? You could have scored that? You hear? You got a power slide, my guy. I think you yeah, you tapped it a little bit there. I guess you just went a little bit too fast. I like that you didn't commit with the boost. You could have tried to maybe flick him or something, but it's all good. I cry that I didn't score that. I mean, like, yeah, maybe I should have just, like, half flipped and got back here. But you either need to jump now. Like, you should jump now. If you jump now, you can hit this angle and hit it in. That one, you wait too long, and you wait till it gets grounded. You want to keep it high because he's in an awkward position. When you put it low, like if you would have hit this right here. Wait, also that's the reason I went, because I didn't hear you jump. When you go low like that, this guy, all he has to do is like front flip and he can adjust real quick. I just put it on my screen as if you can see it. The guy in the ground right there in the goal. But if you went high, you might have been put it over him. Careful using boost when you're supersonic. When people are like this on the ball, 9 times out of 10 they're going to go for a ground pinch because that's the only option they have left when they're like above the ball like that. So just put your car between where they're landing and the goal, and they'll hit it right into every time, and then you'll dunk them and you'll boom it back towards their net. Huge flip reset for me. Whoa, go for the ball. If you either need to drive forward and go for the ball, or power slide turn around. You need to stop driving backwards. I didn't realize how often you are doing this. Like, grab that boost and challenge the ball. The ball's in front of him. It's not on top of his car. It's not bouncing. It's just going in the same direction as his car at max speed. He can't change the direction of that ball. You should challenge that. At least you do half flip and turn. Good shadow defense. You're keeping the ball, the net in front of you. But you could have just challenged. Oh, you do jump too early, though. He has to put this on the net, which from your perspective is just this low. It's not very high. If he goes over and goes backboard, then that's my responsibility. Your responsibility is to cover net. He has a lot of space here to do whatever. If you wait for him to make his move, especially in the air, because you can't change directions in the air, all he has to do is get a little baby touch around where you're going, and then it's past you. But if you just wait right here and save your flip, just one jump, go, you can save your flip all the way up until like crossbar height. So just save your flip, and then you can adjust last second in the air. That's why saving your flip is so important, because otherwise you can't adjust in the air. But you double jump, and usually, never mind. I was about to give you bad advice. But yeah, I think you just jump too early. Make him make his move, and then you can cover it. The way you flipped into this one, I know he beat you anyway. But you hit it with the back of your car. You want to try to get the nose of your car getting there. And if you're scared that they're going to beat you, just left flip here. And then they'll hit it into you. This is a wall read issue, that's fine. I don't really care too much about that. You're trying to go fast anyway, I know, because we're down. Sometimes you can't have your cake and eat it too. You need to either choose boost or ball. Sometimes you can't go for both. And right now I think in your mind, you're going for both. You can get to that. You can get to this ball. As soon as he hits that ball, you boost to it, you can meet it at the wall. But I know you didn't really need to because I'm there. But just know that you can. Good power slide turnaround right there. I guarantee I know what you're doing because I don't know for sure what you're doing. But I miss this ball a lot too because my eyes are going like ball opponents, ball opponents, ball opponents, ball opponents, and I'm trying to like keep track of both at the same time to see if either of them are challenging or if I have time to do something cool. And then I end up missing the ball because I'm also looking at the opponents. So you might have been doing that there to like judge if you have time or not. You might have just also missed the ball, but that is something that's tough about these. Not too worried about mechanical errors. And yeah, the last few seconds doesn't really matter. The game's over. Let me plug in my controller real quick and show you kickoff stuff. When you're in free play, every time you reset the shot, it puts you at a different kickoff location. So you can just get 1,000 million kickoff reps in just by doing the kickoff, hitting the ball, and then resetting the shot in free play. You don't really have to worry about this one too much because you'll only see this one at once. I mean, it's decent to practice, but you don't have to worry about it too much. So from ones like this, all I do is I drive forward, and I'm boosting the whole time. I drive forward and boost till right after the first pad that's in front of me. I turn towards the ball. I front flip and stop boosting because you don't want to boost while you're in the front flip. And then land, boost, and flip into the ball again. It'll look like this. This one is super easy to do. You might still get beat to the ball sometimes if people do a speed flip, so it's not super fast, but it'll be just as fast, if not a little bit faster than not doing anything like you're doing. And it will save so much boost. The way that you do it, you get to the ball slow and you use 100% of your boost. If you do it my way, you can save like 10 to 15 boost going for the ball, and it's like the same speed. So you go like this. Oh, I literally messed it up. You front flip, and then you boost and hit the ball again. And then, okay, I'll just keep doing the corner one. I'll do that one more time. You front flip, and then you boost, hit the ball again. And it's super easy. You don't even have to change the direction of your car. On the corner ones, you literally just front flip forward the direction you're already facing. That'll put you between the ball and net, and then kind of diagonal flip into the ball. That is infinitely better. That's so easy to do, and you can learn that in 5 minutes. And that's going to save you so much time. And then for these diagonal ones, these are also easy. You're going to drive right here, and once you get in line with this boost pad and the ball, you're just going to kind of point your stick towards the ball and flip in that direction. It's not a full diagonal flip. I mean, you can still do it with a full diagonal flip. I kind of do like a slightly forward diagonal flip. I just kind of feel it in my bones like that, and then hit it. This one you could just front flip and then hit it again. And all these, you're just kind of flipping one time, and you stop boosting while you flip. You boost again as you land. Oh, I messed that one up. You're gonna come like this way. And even though I missed by so much, I can still just correct and hit it. And you can do this, literally just do this for 5 minutes, and you'll be good to go on all these. These ones where you're kind of like back off-centered, and you have to do that weird diagonal flip, because you're diagonal, you can align yourself with how much you're boosting. So if you as soon as you flip, you see you're going too much to the right, you can boost. I mean, I guess if you flip too far to the left, then you can't boost that way. So always miss your flip like too far this way, because then you can boost and get back to the ball. Give one of those again, like here. If you miss too far to the right, you can boost and then autocorrect yourself. And so yeah, you can literally just spend all this time. I guess you could learn a speed flip like that too. The other one that might be better to learn from scratch, which I've never done before, but I see a lot of other people do. The pros did this before they learned what speed flipping was, is you grab this boost, you turn out so that your car is pointed at their net, and then you diagonal flip this way, and then you'll land in front of the ball with your nose pointing towards the net. So it looks kind of like that, but of course they do it, I guess you go further. I don't know how they do it, but if you want to look up a YouTube tutorial, you can probably find one on that one. That one will be better and be like just as fast as a speed flip, kind of. It might be a little bit more difficult to learn though, in my opinion, but maybe that's just because I'm not used to it. So those are all my tips. I hope that this was helpful for you.